Okay guys, so football season is back. A new English Premier League campaign is underway and the Castrol EPL roadshow is hitting the road once again beginning 13th of August, covering various locations in Johor, Klang Valley as well as Penang. Now, if any of you guys have recently purchased Castrol lubricants from participating outlets, you can go to these roadshows, take part in a penalty contest, and you stand a chance to win Castrol merchandises that I'm listing here in the screen now. And also remember, during this period, if you purchase Castrol lubricants, you stand a chance to win an all expenses paid trip for two to the UK to watch an English Premier League game live at the stadium. Not in front of a TV, not at a bar, but in the stadium itself. So your next oil change could very well win you the experience of a lifetime. Good luck, and if you win, remember to jio me, okay? Hi guys. So some of you would remember a couple of months back we pulled out a W204 C-Class after 2 years of lockdown. The car was stranded in a condo. The owner contacted us, asked if we can extract the car from the condo parking, which we did. Right, we sent a tow truck in, pulled the car out, helped send the car for a complete service at Prestige Car Care. Then we gave it a full enduro wash. So we cleaned up all the mold, the dust that have been sitting in the car for the past 2 years, helped facilitate a full service of the car. Now this car is back in road running condition, right? So this car is also now for sale, right, at Fat Car Auto in Kajang. So Fat Car Auto has a good working relationship with us at Evo Club Cars. They regularly send cars to us to clean up before handing over to customers. Sometimes they send cars to us to clean up after acquiring it. So yeah, so we have a good working relationship with them. And now this car that we previously cleaned up is under their custody for sale. I've also learned just now that after receiving the car, right, they've also additionally serviced the braking system. So this car has now new brake pads and new rotors as well. So this car basically, as far as I can tell, it is in a buy and drive condition. And from what I am experiencing now, driving this car around Kajang town, engine is smooth, steering feels good, brakes respond properly, ride quality is good. Handling wise, well, the 204 C-Class, in my opinion, has always been the nicer car to drive compared to the W205. The handling is just sharper in comparison, okay? Yeah, and you know, okay, granted, this is the C200 compressor. It's not as sought after as the later generation CGI models, but this car, but with 180 horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque, we're not talking about a slow car here. And this is a car that you buy at the price of a brand new Mighty. You have enough performance to keep up with a Civic, with a Corolla. In that sense, it is still, you know, you're getting fantastic bang for your buck. The engine still has strong mid-range. It pulls willingly, enthusiastically, and poof, just like that, 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, not really a car to win you 0 to 100 kilometer drag races, but it's fast enough to keep up. All right, and well, this being the 1.8 liter supercharged engine, yes, you trade off a bit of fuel economy, you trade off a bit of the peak torque, but what you get instantaneous part response, you get a reliable engine, and it is still fast enough to keep up with traffic. Alright, so yeah, driving wise, this car, as far as I can tell, feels solid. It feels like a car in a buy and drive condition. Okay guys, so here is the C200 compressor from the outside. Now coincidentally, right here there's another example. This one is kitted with an AMG line body kit, whereas this one is the standard elegance trim, but you still get the big central star on nose grille, which is the sportier grille design. All right, now in my opinion, right, the W204 C-Class is still perhaps the most handsome member of the C-Class family. I personally actually prefer the pre-facelift exterior, although a lot of people think the facelift one is to go for, but where exterior styling is concerned, I actually like this pre-facelift model better. Now this time Mercedes has the signal light built onto the side mirror, but it's integrated at this rather odd position. This actually gives it the look that it is a bit of an aftermarket stick-on, whereas over there in the CGI model, all right, it is more nicely integrated into a proper design feature. And right over there we have this facelifted version, so you can see this is a more aggressive facelifted version AMG kit, but this grille here, this is aftermarket lah. So the facelifted one has this reworked headlight design, which honestly that has never worked for me. I still like it in this configuration better. Now this particular example, I do have to highlight that at the corner here we see some signs of red putty, so this is evidence that the car has went through a fender bender at some point in its life. But later on we'll open up the engine bay and we will see the structure of the car and check for, you know, major accident damages. Okay, so but that aside, right, that little scar there aside, this car looks to be in good condition. It was, until 2 years ago, a daily driven car by its owner. All right, and yeah, and well, pandemic just upended everybody's life because of it, and the car somehow just remained neglected during that time. So here at the back, now you can see overall, right, what I like about the 204's design is that it has those taut lines, the dimensions of the car. You know, it has compact dimensions, but at the same time the proportions, right, is well balanced, and the way Mercedes penned the lines for this car, it just strikes a very nice balance of I would say subtle dynamism. Okay, you see, you look at this example, even though it is elegance trim, you can just see that Mercedes has engineered a bit of sportiness in the genes of this car, and I stand by my assessment. The 204 is the nicer handling car compared to the W205. Okay, so let's take a quick one and pop the bonnet. So here we have, this is the 1.8 liter supercharged compressor engine. All right, the engine was washed by our crew, so you can see our Pro Nano Black Pro treatment is still on all the dark surfaces. When we got this car, all this was mold. Now we have cleaned all that up, and you can see right here, okay, all these nuts here are still in decent condition. So it shows that this car, from what we can tell, doesn't seem to have been the victim of a major accident before. All right, so some stains here, unavoidable. All right, but yeah, I mean, this car has gone through a fender bender. Some of the pieces here are a bit loose, but it is the structural integrity of this car, I would say, generally is good. Okay, so we come to the interior. We check out the boot. Right, so I would say by today's standards, this boot is small. This is a small boot. Underneath here, the spare tire well. No sign of water leakage under here. All right. So here inside, okay, you do get rear air con vents, but make no mistake lah, it's very tight inside here, all grey. But hey, actually it's, now space wise it's tight at the back here, but actually I do have enough room, right, leg room. Bench is a bit short, okay, bench is a bit short, so it doesn't go all the way to the back of my thigh, but the lean angle at the back here is good. I have got about maybe 3 fingers of headroom above my 170 centimeter frame. Here they've made these indentations to give you better leg room, and here underneath here there's a 12-volt socket with an ashtray. Yeah, so here the armrest, you open this up, compartment here, pop up. Oh, nice. Then you can close the armrest. You still have access to the cup holders. Nice elaborate mechanism, but also at the same time exudes a pleasingly solid feel. All right, you've got isofix mounts here, okay, with the label put here, okay, and yeah, so here at the back up here there are these reading lights, and this one here, this is the reverse sensor display. Let me show you how that works later on. So we come to the front, okay. Now this cabin really has not aged well, I'll give you that much. So key start, okay, no button start yet. Just have to start the car the old-fashioned way. Now here the door card, Mercedes, if you remember, wow, it has powered headrests. Nice. All right, puts their seat controls at the door. You've got three memory settings. The power window control panels nicely placed here. Lock and unlock button. Driver's side, passenger side. Brilliant. Okay, now this dash, well, this one has not aged well at all. You've got dual zone climate control. This key pad here really shows you the age of this car from the early noughties. Okay, when Bluetooth just came into in-car Bluetooth just came in, and because they didn't have touchscreen at the time, so you have all these button pads here. And what's this? This one you pop out to reveal the infotainment screen. All right, very limited in terms of functions. Definitely, I think it's not as sophisticated as the BMW iDrive you find in the E90. Okay, but it's functional, and I think most people would use this slot here as a spot to dump your key, your parking card, your touch and go and whatnot. Okay, the instrument cluster here is I apologize for the reflection. All right, let me just move the car to a shaded spot to continue this video. Okay, so you have a multi-info display, but it is a monochrome type. So you have this keypad here in which you can browse through the functions. Now you can see from the menu structure, if you've been driving one of the slight newer gen Mercedes, maybe a 204 facelift or 205 pre-facelift, you would recognize the similarities in the way this menu is structured. All right, and yeah, so you can basically use this keypad here to interact with the multifunction display. So you have temperature display, fuel gauge, speedometer, and the tachometer. Now, an interesting thing about the speedo, which also has the same, which you also have this in the 212 E class, is that the pointer, okay, runs with a gear system along the perimeter of the speedometer. It's not like there's a central gear here, all right, and then it goes behind and hooks like that. No, there's actually a gear that runs along the perimeter like this. All right, Mercedes did this because they can. Yeah. Also, another interesting era from bygone Mercedes is the parking brake, all right, which you disengage by pulling this, and you engage by stepping on. Now Mercedes no longer has that, which I think is a bit of a waste. All right, so you've got a powered sunshade. All right. Powered rear sunshade works in this car. All right, now you also have parking sensors. Now let me just demonstrate the parking sensors to you. I am going into reverse. All right, you notice up there, you notice that bar up there, all right, it displays the proximity with the it displays the proximity of the rear object as I go in. So as more lights come out, it shows that, you know, I'm closing in, closing in, closing in. And the thing is, you can see it very clearly even from the rear view mirror as well. So either you can look direct, or you can see it from the front. Now, of course, modern Mercedes, you don't need it because you have monitors, all right? But at this era, all right, before they have monitors, these parking lights are what you depend on. So now, as I drive and close in on the car in front, all right, the LEDs here then indicate my proximity as I close in on the object. All right, so from a design standpoint, no two ways about it. The 204's cabin, especially this pre-facelift model, it really has not stood the test of time well. This one look at this, it immediately looks like a dated cabin. Now, one thing I would like to highlight, look at this, the edges here, all these scuff marks here, okay? All these scuff marks here, and as I open this, it all pops up nicely. Now, and this is a nicely sized storage cabin, and here, this is an interesting slot, okay? So you can, this is sort of like something like, you know, you could use this to dump small rubbish items, I guess, because you can take this whole thing out, you know, throw it and put back. And you have this lid here. Inside this component also is, this compartment is also rubberized, so you can dump things in here, right, and they won't rock about. So why do I highlight this? You see, this is the sign, this is a sign that this car was very regularly used by its previous owner. Okay, this car goes through the rigors of daily life, but as I drive this car around, and you observe, you know, there are some minor battle scars, but the fit and finish overall remains excellent. Okay, there aren't any signs of rattling, squeaking. You know, everything is just held together. You know, everything still feels solid. You know, it still looks reasonably new. Okay, it is a testament to the quality and longevity that was built into this car, that suggests you still have good number of, you know, good service years life in this. All right, hey, check this out, you've got powered steering adjustment. All right, so how much for this car? Now, the current market rate for a 2008 C-Class compressor, 200 compressor, is about 36 to 38,000 ringgit. This guy here carries a price of 42,800. Once you factor in road tax, once you factor in insurance, processing fees, you're probably looking at 44 to 45,000 ringgit on the road. Is it worth it? Well, if you would ask me, 40,000 ringgit for a Continental car, you are actually better off looking at a BMW E90, if I'm to be honest with you. Okay, simply put, with that budget, right, because of the relative resale values of Mercedes against BMW cars, when you shop in the used car market, buying a BMW always gets you better value. It gets, with the same budget, gets you better value, it gets you a newer car, right? Because for the same money as an 08 C-Class, you are probably looking at a 2010 to 2012 E90 3 Series. Maybe not the 325i that you see here, but quite easily a 323i at the least. All right. But that being said, this particular example of the C200 compressor that we are seeing here, this car is definitely good to buy. All right. If you are in the market for a W204, you like the 204 C-Class, you can accept its current market value, then yes, this is a purchase that you should look at. You know, I mean, if you are already locked into getting a 204 C-Class, then you should look at this guy at the very least. Okay, pros and cons of this car: buy and drive condition, not perfect, but whatever major things that needs to be fixed is already done. All right, the only thing that counts against this car perhaps is that for most people, the later batch CGI models, the facelift models, are more sought after. But this guy here has its merits, at least as far when I drove it. there was nothing to complain about. So if you are interested to check out this C200 compressor, head over to Fat Car here in Kajang. Those are the numbers to call. And yeah, you can also search for them on Waze, Google Maps. I'm including the relevant links in the description section below. You can come and check out the other cars they have in their inventory. I'm seeing some F10, couple of W205s, F30s, F10, E90s, a few Volkswagens here, a number of cars to choose from. Okay, you can also, if you need your car cleaned up, you can also come by to us at Evo Club Car Wash, where we have a variety of car cleaning packages. We also have newly launched subscription plans whereby you just pay upfront and we will arrange for your cars to be washed regularly on a weekly basis, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. We can even arrange for drivers to come and pick your car up, wash, and send back to you to the comforts of your home or your office, whichever that it is to your convenience. All right, so until my next video, guys, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. What